Now might be a good time to tell you all about the Motion Picture Association of America's fascinating rating system.
It's hard to remember a time before the MPAA ruled the movie industry with an iron fist, and today, when outlaw filmmakers, outsider artists, and just a studio looking to cash in really want to make a splash, they have a single go-to move. They release a film in that liminal space between the commercially viable and the culturally transgressive. This is known as the unrated movie.
The head of the Motion Picture Association of America, Jack Valenti, said today in New York that the film industry plans to set up a voluntary rating system designed to keep youngsters from seeing undesirable film.
Ratings and the idea of ratings have been around for the majority of the modern conception of industrialized film releases. We all know them: G, PG, PG-13, and R. They are the 4 legitimate and commercially appropriate ratings your film can receive. Of course, there's the dreaded NC-17, but the less said about that, the better from the studio's perspective. In fact, in recent years, the studios would literally rather have their projects released into the wild than put out something featuring that last rating. But to understand why this ecosystem is the way it is, we need to go back to the beginning.
Gentlemen, given its enormous expense, we don't want to send it to market except in the certainty that it will not offend any reasonable American regardless of faith or creed.
From 1934 to 1968, the Motion Picture Production Code set a concrete and puritanical blueprint for what could be released in theaters by movie studios. This rubric, commonly referred to as the Hays Code, after William H. Hays, the former political operative and then serving as the Postmaster General.
That the production code adopted by the motion picture industry is designed to develop and to protect.
The Hays Code held a death grip on the film industry. No fornication, nudity, or drug use were permitted in films that were widely released. Even concepts like the bad guys winning or promoting criminal acts were censored under the iron thumb of the code. However, as public morals evolved and the studios became more and more frustrated by the totalitarian censorship of the MPPC, a push to replace it with something else gained popularity. The MPAA, or Motion Picture Association of America, was eventually created as a replacement for the Hays Code. The MPAA is not without its flaws, though. It's been accused of corruption, big studio bias, and overreaching censorship.
The rating board members, who are parents, are neither gods nor fools, look at a movie and try to put a rating on there that the average parent would believe to be an accurate depiction of that film.
Okay, so now that we've got the history out of the way, let's get back to the original question. How does a movie get released unrated? It's usually a studio or distribution company that wants to avoid an NC-17 rating. There have only been a select few mainstream films that have been released with the NC-17 rating, and almost all of them have failed miserably. And due to the agreements between the MPAA and the broader interconnected network of theater chains, a film must receive a rating to play in theaters across the country. For much of the history of the industry, many major distribution chains and studios were very skittish to release a film without a rating. This was due to apprehension regarding public backlash and the potential for unwanted lawsuits. It's essentially always been exceedingly rare and difficult to get a movie out if it didn't have a rating. That was until the early 2000s. What changed about this hollow decade? The rise of the DVD.
It's a movie on a disc the size of a CD. The picture is twice as sharp as VHS.
In the 80s and 90s, the booming home video and rental markets allowed film studios a second bite at the apple. Projects that had died at the theater were resurrected in the confines of living rooms across the globe. So when DVDs started doing the same for films, the studios explored alternate ways to thin slice this experience. How many more iterations could they release to pull in even more money? Flash-in-the-pan phenomena like extended cuts, one-half sequels like Spider-Man 2.1 or X-Men 1.5, and you guessed it, unrated editions flooded the market. These unrated editions were ubiquitous and almost always terrible. They basically just boiled down to the theatrical release of the movie with 1 or 2 additional scenes inserted into them. This became an industry-wide trend. Chief among them, American Pie's unrated DVD release was so successful that it directly spawned numerous copycats.
Terrifying new footage and exclusive bonus features.
Stay away from Los Angeles.
To die for. The unrated director's cut, Dawn of the Dead, on DVD Tuesday.
This practice of draining movie fans out of money didn't last long. After basically a decade of delivering subpar quality alternate versions of films, everyone collectively just kinda said no more, just in time to see how the physical media industry itself would collapse due to the onset of streaming. But have no fear. The unrated movie itself hasn't actually gone away, totally. In fact, it's actually closer to the original idea than ever. Today, movies being released unrated actually do carry a little more weight. We still have the old version of the idea, like the re-release of Saw to commemorate its 20th anniversary.
Live or die. Make your choice.
It features a slightly extended cut with some more gratuitous gore and profanity, but it's essentially the original film. It was also only in theaters for a few days, which pivots it away from drawing the ire of the MPAA. It's a limited exhibition.
Most people are so ungrateful to be alive. But not you. Not anymore.
Terrifier 3, however, is a beast unto itself. Well, thanks to the access that streaming has granted, Terrifier was able to build up a steadily growing and fervent fanbase. These are people who come to the franchise for one thing and one thing alone: gore. So when the distributor, Cineverse Corp, realized there was no way the MPAA would give them anything other than an NC-17, they had no other option but to risk it all and bet the farm. And boy, did that bet work out well for them. The film was released unrated in October of 2024 and became the highest grossing film ever to be put out with no rating. The third installment in the franchise pulled in $55.1 million opening weekend and a total gross of just over $90 million. This is an astonishing feat for a previously cult curio. It's something that just literally would not have been possible even as recently as 10 years ago. Due to the increased cannibalization of streaming, theaters are looking for any reason to have an excuse to pull people in, and it's not strictly illegal to ship a movie without an MPAA rating on it. It's just highly frowned upon. So for the right movie, like a sequel to a proven horror franchise, they're willing to roll the dice. Is Terrifier an outlier, or will it be a model for more transgressive content seeking a mainstream release?
Hey fella, what's in the bag? Oh, he's gonna show us. Hey. What do you got?
But what happens when it's on a smaller, more indie project? Or a project that's been held up in development hell for a few years? Well, that's about to be the story of Toxic Avenger. The Peter Dinklage-fronted remake of the cult classic is pulling a page directly from the Terrifier playbook. After premiering at Fantastic Fest almost 2 full years ago to rave reviews, the project just couldn't find distribution. It was apparently too aggressive on multiple fronts, and yet finally, here we are, with the film hopefully continuing the trend of unrated movies pulling in the big bucks.
Summon the nuts. Okay, summoning the nuts.
Regardless if you're a Toxic Avenger, Terrifier, or just film fan in general, this trend of unrated movies actually being released is a good thing. Film censorship and ratings guidelines have shaped the entire modern history of the medium. The idea that we might be moving away from this and into something that could foster new and interesting voices is an exciting prospect, especially given the bleakness of the industry overall, and the glimmer of hope that there's a path forward for more transgressive, interesting, and avant-garde films to be made and seen by people is a cultural boon. So really, the only thing to do now is for everyone to show up to Toxie's first big screen outing in multiple decades, both for his sake and for all of ours.
His face is so terrifying. We can't show it to you now. You'll have to see the movie for yourself.
And well, that's all we have for this episode. What do you think? Is there a real future for unrated films going forward? Or is this a fad that will be gone in no time? Let us know in the comments below, and as always, please like and subscribe for more Nerdstalgic videos just like this.